The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
They'll run it now. This is Charkandrick left. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. On the toss, there goes West. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Throwing, Cousins. Looking for his tight end, Eifert, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Nigel Brown, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Go, 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 go!
Now Rosen to throw on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39. Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Flush to his right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now.
On fourth down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. That's complete to John Ross. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
Hey, 382, let's listen. The hunt. Hey! Go ahead, go ahead. Yellow, it's in there. Yellow.
On first and 10, Cousins. And that is incomplete here. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on second and 10.
Let's 50, here we go. Rhino. Move. Through. Rhino.
Throwing again, Cousins on second and 10. And that'll be incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a third and 10. Cousins again. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Mike Bennett in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. The Bengals bring out their punter now. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They run with Ajayi, and he stopped immediately there. And that time the tackle by Malik Hooker.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Detroit!
Josh Rosen. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Jordan Willis in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Here's Brett Kern now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
Let's go. Quaker Omaha. Black.
Cousins now to throw on first down. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Let's just do me. That's the heart. 180. Nathan. First.
Cousins now. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Wide.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Flushed out right. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
They'll toss it to Ajayi. Oh, nice move. 20. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want the left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage. You got a chance to rumble.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
Watch him now, Barney! Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
Now it's Ajayi. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on third down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. This is Ajayi. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal. So
maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Black. Yellow. Reach in there. Yellow.
Second down, Cousins. And this will be a dump off for Keller. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still,
no
yardage. Okay.
Now, Bengals on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. Now Cousins. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe
Super toe.
Gone! Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Play clock down to 0. And this is not the way to start a drive. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15.
Gone!
They'll run here with Humphrey. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Brought down by the cornerback, William Jackson.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On second down, Rosen finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and they're going to have a third down. And now it's Rosen looking. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. Here's Brett Kern now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taking on the midfield logo. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. Around the NFL, second quarter down in Tampa. It's the Chargers out to an early lead. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Here's West. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They'll run here with John Kelly. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. Now the Bengals on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Hey, we're good, we're good.
Now West. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. A first chance in the red zone for the Bengals now. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll run it with West. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Charkandrick West with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bengals are in for 6. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out come the Eagles. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
They'll start out on the ground with a jive. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
So the delay of game penalty backs him up. It's now 2nd and 7. From the gun, it's Rosen. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Rosen on 1st and 10. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
I know you're trying not to scoreboard watch, but you only got 3 points. You're kind of hoping that that type of play there gives you some positive momentum going into the half.
Yeah, need to do something to get more than that 3 number that they have on the scoreboard right now. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
On 2nd down, here's Rosen. Incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Watch it now, Barney.
Rosen to throw on 3rd down. Aguilar has it. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. As the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Now, let's go. 319. 319. Watch it now, Barney. Watch it now, Barney. No. Off.
Now Rosen on first down. Drops it off to Ajayi. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, and it's a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And it's caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. So it's first and goal, and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Elliott puts this one through. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. Setting up the screen for West. He finds an opening past the 40. And he'll finally be taken down just shy of midfield. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Jakeem Grant now to return. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. On first down, it's Rosen. Now he's going to go deep down the left side. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's second down. Another incompletion with that one. He's just 7 of 14 throwing the football, 50%. Typically not going to get it done, is it?
And let's just make it simple, and that's exactly why they trail.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Detroit! Detroit! Hey, hurry up, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90!
Rosen again on 2nd and 10. And this one hauled in by Will Tye. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Throwing now, Rosen on 1st down. Got an open man, it's a noon one. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Detroit! Detroit! Now let's go! Green 39! Green 39! Gun! 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 Gun!
They want to go to the air again with Rosen. He's going to float this over the middle deep. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Again, it's Rosen. And that is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. All 9 points for him coming via the field goal, and this last one puts him out in front.
All the field goals are great, but you know I'm going to get pessimistic here, right? Because you've got to score touchdowns to win games in the NFL. I just wonder if all these field goals, great now, or if they'll come back and haunt them later on.
So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They'll run again here with West. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Working out of the gun, Cousins going deep downfield for Ross. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll begin the drive with a Ajayi. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Making the play defensively, Carl Lawson. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Detroit!
Now Rosen to throw on second down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
So many offense want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney.
Throwing again, it's Rosen. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make this a second down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Rosen to throw again. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. The running back, because he's eager to get the pass. And sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that, and that's why they're able to get to him on it.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Barney. Watch him now, Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
They had yet to run the ball at all on this drive, but 3rd and short, definitely was a great time to dial one up.
Detroit!
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Ertz over the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The dump off good for 8 there on first down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, They'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up. Give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
Here's Ajayi, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. The Eagles on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
No, check, Patriot!
And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. 3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. Now Rosen. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. In for the score. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
Now that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Hey, Clifford. 2. Yellow. Black. Gun.
A 2nd down throw for Cousins. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Phillip Dorsett, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Go ahead.
From the gun, here's Cousins. He's going to air one out. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They'll run with Clement, looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down. Here's Rosen. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. William Jackson with a pick. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that will get them one closer. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Watch it now, Barney.
Back to the air, Rosen after the pick six. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Gun!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now a toss. This is West. And he gets it down to the 32. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Back-to-back one-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This for a 4th quarter lead. And Myers able to knock it through. And with that, they have taken the lead by a point here in the 4th. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you're looking to plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now it's Rosen. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
No. Check. Patriot. Watch him now, Barney. All right, now, lucky 56.
Now a toss play. It's a Ajayi. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Boom! Yeah, baby! Boom!
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this.
Lucky 56.
On 2nd down, Rosen. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
They begin here with a run by West. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell him to take care of the ball, and try and move forward.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
Lucky 50. There you go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout, as he'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
All right, now here we go, oh. Lucky 50. Go ahead.
They'll try and run for it with Kelly. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. 1st down now, but that clock rolling.
Detroit! Gone!
They'll look to throw. Completes it to Aguilar. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. And we've reached the 1-minute mark in this game.
Detroit!
He'll look to throw. Hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy's still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make it second down. Nothing open downfield. They went underneath.
Hey, see if you can get it to your running back. See if he can make someone miss in the open field.
Back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. 4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the first. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movements. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the approach.
Oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates.
And that one, oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
Cousins just going to take this one down to a knee and end it. A road win in the National Football League.